What a get. 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 This is amazing right here.
Pinch.
All right, everybody, welcome to episode 63 of Beyond the Court. I am not Mike Grisz, the USA Racquetball Executive Director, but we will be back with Mike soon. Thank you, Simon, for removing that. With that said, we're going to bring Leo Vasquez in right away. And Leo, what happened there with Simon? He had me up as Mike Grisz. We just disappointed.
He is as amped as I am for tonight's show.
Yeah, it's a good show. Leo, so what's up, buddy? How was Christmas? What's going on? I saw you were a rescuer.
Oh, man, holidays were great. But once again, thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to probably let the room fill up before we bring in our big guest tonight. So let's get some more people in here. If you're watching live online, tonight will be your night tonight. Let's go ahead and get Simon to pull the chat up for everyone. Tonight is the last show of 2022. So tonight we're going to make it all about the fans. So comments, questions, anything that you have, we want to address that tonight. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. My holiday was awesome. Had the opportunity and the pleasure of rescuing a dog for a few hours that was in a fire. Got to spend some time with the family, which is always fun. Ate a lot, and I had a good holiday. So
do you consider the holiday like it starts Christmas Eve and runs past New Year? Or is it like, do you take it Christmas Eve, Christmas? I don't know.
It's still the holidays.
What do the players and fans think? Is it like from Christmas Eve through January 1st?
That's that's a good question.
That's a long time, it was good. Christmas with the kids, that's the best. Santa Claus, as long as Santa Claus is involved, and Jules and Mateo are prime Santa Claus age, so it's always good. And it's disgusting how many things Santa brings these kids. It doesn't make sense, But anyway, sometimes Santa brings things Veronica and I like too, like a little mini basketball hoop where you get a little competition going in the house.
Those are some of the coolest toys, man.
Yeah, they are. The reactions are the best. So we got a big show, Leo. We're going to go over 2022, which was quite interesting. Not just for racquetball, obviously, but for everyone in general, just society coming out of COVID, what we've had to deal with. Obviously, our guest, Mike Grisz, the executive director, he's going to come in and tell us about the absolutely a major announcement for our sport, the postponement of the 2023 U.S. Open. And I know he's going to appreciate me saying postponement, but can we just say it's cancellation? Or we might have to use postponement. I'll ask Mike. Mike's my friend. Let's see if you'd rather me say postponement for contract reasons. And we'll go from there. What else, Leo, what else are we going to talk about tonight?
Yeah, we're going to, recap the best and maybe the worst of 2022. We want to look ahead to 2023, some events that we've got queued up coming up, obviously, January, February. Racquetball's coming out hot. The Treasure Coast Series dates, we've confirmed those. We'll be talking about those as well. We're going to do, like I said, we're going to do a t-shirt giveaway. You got the t-shirts ready?
I do, buddy. I have event 4. I have event 5. Event 5, we went a little Frozen theme. Check it out. You know, we went
What
a
size
little,
you have in that?
I don't know. I think we have some smalls, some larges, but check it out. It's
I
pretty
love
cool.
that color.
We'll go with that. Yeah, and thanks
Yeah,
to all
so
those
let's
sponsors.
give those away tonight. So anybody that puts a comment in the chat, you're going to be registered to win one of the Treasure Coast t-shirts. We also have some other news that we're going to talk about and some predictions for 2020.
I like that. That'll be fun. That's going to be a good time. So, you know, our executive director of USA Racquetball is waiting patiently in the green room, and Simon, by the way, prefers Simone. So we'll call him Simone, Simon, whatever you prefer. So,
hi, Joanne.
Joanne Pomodoro's in there. Steve Castleberry. Steve is the USAR's #1 defender. Mike Grisz, you should consider bringing that man onto your team. He is always the first in line to say something good, to promote, to help. All right, let's take a quick commercial, Simone, and we will be right back with Executive Director Mike Grisz. Don't move. Hang out in there. And yeah, Ken, you might get a shirt too.
Michael, Joanne. Look at that. It's filling up fast. There's my boy Mejia. Lance.
Right back. 30 seconds.
Don't go anywhere.
Commercial's got a little vibe to it. And we do have double X there, Michael. You know we do. Somewhere in there, Leo, there might be a double X. And Lance, yeah, you do need to get to Florida to play in a Treasure Coast series. It's a good time. It's a different type of event. Leo, are we ready, Leo, to bring in the executive director, Mike Grisz?
Well, Performance Chemicals.
What about
him? Can we touch on that real quick? Because curious minds.
Yeah.
We're seeing the logos. We're seeing the commercials. We know you're sponsored by them. Now, what's the relationship?
Real quick, I was hired full-time as Director of Business Development for Performance Chemicals. So it is a real position. It's a real job, as we say. I hate when people say, oh, what do you do? And I say professional racquetball. And they say, well, what's your real job? Maybe that'll help everybody and they'll feel better about that. But the owner's a racquetball player. He loves it. His passion is the same as ours. I had the honor of going out not too long ago to New Hampshire. And one of the best parts was on Monday night, we went out and we played some racquetball with the locals, and that was really cool. I'll send you a picture and we can maybe post it up on another show. So it's interesting. It's going to keep me involved in racquetball. I received a message from a friend of all of ours, Slimo Oregon, the other day after he saw the announcement of the Treasure Coast series, the second series of events 6 through 10. And he said he's so happy to see. He thought that due to my new position, I might not be as involved. Quite the contrary, Leo. I'll be as involved as ever. The owner is a racquetball player, passionate fan, loves it. And part of the deal was I'm not allowed to leave racquetball, so we will be busy. Nothing's going to change. Just a lot more on the plate.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. So yeah, more on that to come later. Simone, can we bring in Mike Grisz? Can we do that? Where is he?
Let's bring in our executive director.
Whoops.
There I am.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Leo. Hi, Sudsy. Glad
Mike,
to see you guys both again.
And you too. And we know Karen is not far off. So hi, Karen. And, thanks for giving us Mike again. Mike, I'm just going to get right to it. You're busy as hell. People don't realize it. I realize it. We talk. You've been doing everything you can to save the national governing body of our sport, USA Racquetball. And quite frankly, I love that you have the Pro Pen Purple Balls to come on the show and talk to us what Leo and I, and definitely the fans in our audience, deem as real racquetball talk. We appreciate that. So, there was a huge announcement today. Obviously, the announcement was, if you're first hearing this, that the 2023 US Open is, and Mike, I know you'll appreciate this, going to be postponed. So I'm going to give you the floor. It's all yours, Mike. Tell everybody what's going on. Tell us about the announcement.
Okay. The next U.S. Open will be May of 2024. At this time, we're planning to be in Minneapolis, probably at the University of Minnesota. So that's the crux of it. Let me get into the why, I guess. The why is two reasons. Neither one is bigger than the other, but both are a determination of why we had to do this. And by the way, I'm the one who stands behind this decision. It's my responsibility. The board voted unanimously. Actually wasn't my idea, but I was on this right away and think it's a great idea. The reason we did this was twofold. One is scheduling. I'm looking at the comments too. You're right, Joanne. But one was scheduling. We had no place really to put the Open, and three-wall ball took the week that we were tentatively looking at, and I hold nothing against that. They are subject to whatever the Strat can do, and so I support that. But then you look for alternatives, and you can't really go after three-wall because you're coming into the Pan Am Games. The Pan Am Games will take a lot of the pros, a lot of the top pros. So we just really couldn't do that. You can't do that. You go before that, and again, what are we going to do? We're going to go a week from before three-wall. Is that good for racquetball? And the answer is no. The pros, both pro tours, are probably going to be in Bolivia the first or second week of September. So now you're looking at a time crunch that's just not good. And we can't go later. So going to May of 24 seems the most appropriate thing to do. And I'll be honest. And again, as everybody knows, that I'm completely transparent in what's going on with USA Racquetball. We're not ready for it. Those of you who might have missed it, we didn't have the most stellar performance financially in the 2022 US Open. We lost $140,000. Almost killed the organization. I started basically the day after the US Open, and we're just not in a position to do it. I have no cushion, and I've got to get sponsorship. If we're going to run the US Open correctly, whether we run it like we did last year or whether we run it and have the exhibition court, I need sponsorship, and a lot of it. $150,000 in sponsorship to do it like we did last year, and $350,000 or plus to get the exhibition court. So that's where we are. It gives us a chance to reset, and it's good for the schedule. I've had questions, are we going to keep it that way? Hard to say, but I think that's a good idea. Again, it gives space. If three-wall is doing as phenomenally as it is, then the Open, you got the Open in May and three-wall in the end of September, October. And that gives, if people go to 2 tournaments a year, there you go. You got 6 months apart, 5 months apart. It had nothing to do, Norm, with the payables we had outstanding. To update everybody, we're going to be out of payables by March. So we're turning things around. Financially, we're turning things around. Anyway, so that's where we are. I'm excited about this because I think we can do a good job. How will that affect how will that affect singles and doubles going forward? I don't know. Should we take that event that's February in Arizona and put it somewhere in the fall? Maybe. I haven't thought that far through it yet. frankly, you know, the first 3 months of my tenure at USA Racquetball has been trying to get us out of a financial hole and to try to get us prepared for the 4 upcoming tournaments in the first half of this year. If I don't move a tournament to the second half of the year in 24, then I have 5 tournaments in the first half and nothing in the second half. I'll get there.
Mike, again, you know, it's a blessing and a curse, because I feel that sometimes I may know a little more, or Leo may know a little more, and not because you're disclosing anything. You know, obviously the rumor mill in racquetball is tight. And so a couple questions. You know, you talk about we need sponsorships, and our understanding as a sport and a group is that we have hired, or there was a person in place to run these national events. Is that their job? Is their role?
That's what Connor is working towards.
That's Connor Shane.
That is his major job, is to get sponsorships. But if you guys think that's an easy sell, it's not. I realized that Doug Ganem was magical. I mean, but the budgeting that people do, another reason to move this to 24, but companies do budgeting for 2023 and 2022. We're late to the game already on that, to try to get a significant amount of sponsorship for September of 2023. You have a much better chance in 2024. I'm supposed to use the we pronoun. The USA Racquetball cannot lose money on the US Open. It almost killed us. And we can't do that again. We've got to be profitable in this. Are we going to get the level of profit we did in the Ganem days? And the answer is, well, that's really going to be difficult. But we're going to, you know, we're going to be profitable. We're going to try to be profitable. We need to get sponsorships. I am going to pay commissions for people that bring in sponsorships. And that's the way it is. I'm happy to pay them. Easiest check in the world to write is to have people help us. Connor's going to be doing that. He knows that it's his charge. But if somebody has a contact out there that can help us and wants to be a sponsor, whether it's a title sponsor or a lesser sponsorship, you have it's there.
Leo?
And I'm having a hard time following along and reading these.
Mike, don't worry. Yeah, don't worry about that. I know you can get back to that later. If something jumps up, Leo or Simone will put it out there, and we'll get it to you. But go ahead, Leo.
We have some I'd rather just try to roll through the questions, because the fans are the ones that have the good questions. So let me let's do this one first, Mike. John Rhodes asks, when does the USAR ball contract come up? How long is the Pro HD Pen ball the official ball? It's interesting that Gearbox is now the official ball of the IRT. Very different ball and game. What is your response to that?
My response is that the ball contract goes into effect for 2023 on January 1st and runs through the end of 2023. Head pen is the official ball of USA Racquetball. I understand that Gearbox is now the official ball of the IRT, and I understand that Gearbox is the official ball of the IRF. Let's also note that the LPRT uses the green ball. So we got 3 different balls out there. The purple pen will be used at the national events in 2023. End of story, period. We cannot use the Gearbox ball. I would be violating a contract. Gearbox is the official racket of USAR. Gearbox is extremely supportive. But for 2023, the purple Pro Pen is the ball.
Leo, that's an interesting question that Simone just dropped in, because, you know, we're talking about this big US Open announcement, and I kind of want to stay there for a minute, Mike. obviously the U.S. Open is near and dear to my heart. Certainly, Leo, were you at the first one, or the second one was your first
The
one?
second one was my
Second
first
one.
one.
So yeah, I mean, I was there from the onset at its birth in '96. Mike, let me say this, and to everybody listening and the fans, I see, a bunch of you on obviously Facebook. There's a bunch of you on YouTube, some people watching on Twitter. Mike, I agree with your decision. I think it's a good decision. I think that I do agree that we needed to do this and have a little bit of a reset. I think it sucks, yeah, we don't have the U.S. Open, but it's a no-brainer. People that don't know you, you do have a good business mind, and you understand what works and what doesn't, and sometimes you simplify it. And you said it repeatedly. You said we just can't have the event if we're going to lose money.
Right.
But I have a question that we do get a lot from a lot
Mm-hmm.
of fans. You weren't here. You weren't part of the 2022 U.S. Open demise, really, which, quite frankly, almost.
I worked 12 hours a day at that tournament, Sudsy.
No. The decision of having the event. So the question is, and it's a tough one, why did we have the event? Because a lot of us were saying, knowing what was going on, what are we doing? We're force feeding this event. We're going to get hurt. And to your point, what was it? 140,000 we lost. So we had that event. So two questions. One, and I have to ask because it did come up, Leo, in one of the comments.
Mm-hmm.
One, why didn't we, or what happened there? Where did we drop the ball about 2022 having it? Number two, how is, I don't want to say any names, but anybody that had anything to do with making those decisions of having that event, can we justify them still being part of the association moving forward?
Sure. I'll answer both of those questions. Question number one was, why go on with the event? I was on the finance committee. I was on the board. The projection at the 2 weeks before was a loss of 40. So you're 2 weeks before the Open. It's a major event for racquetball. And so we were going to absorb the $40,000 loss. As it is, the loss was a little bit higher. I'm not going to point any fingers at this, but that's not going to happen at my watch. The other thing is that, and to be frank, it's easy to point a finger at Connor and lay it on him. His charge was to go out and put on the tournament. So that was it. And, we did it. We put on a tournament. Yeah, financially it didn't work out well, but am I going to pin him for that? He was given an impossible task. He came in, first of all, he's through COVID, so he can't build up the relationships because of COVID. Then we start, and he has to put on all the national events. And then we had to deal with that. And I mean, it's so hard for me not to swear with that exhibition court. Put the word in front of exhibition court and you can figure what I'm going to say. But that was a 6-week sojourn to get it from the warehouses and the Target Center in Minneapolis down to Alabama for the World Games. It was at the exact wrong time. So we had to do with all the national events and had to do with the exhibition court. So it was really put behind on the Open. Obviously, it wasn't well managed, and I will just leave it at that. It wasn't well managed. It's got to be done better. Nobody embezzled any money. It was just trying to put on an Open and being overwhelmed.
All right, I'm going to address this because it needs to be. I'm sorry, Mike, and again, thank you for being here. But Brian O'Melian asked, I believe, Simone, if you could pull that up. He said, "How did it go from a $40,000 loss to 140 in 2 weeks?" And then Steve Castleberry, I told you he's your number one cheerleader. No disrespect, Steve. He said projection versus actual numbers. What do you say to that?
Well, I mean, and that's a good question. I mean, if this were the real world, you'd fire everybody on the USAR and the whole board. Okay, I'm fired. I'm back to my retirement.
No,
See
you
guys.
were,
But I mean, but I'm just
but my
saying-
understanding is you were advised by whoever's ever running this event that it would be a $40,000 loss.
and
Was it?
Connor was running the event, but he wasn't the person in charge. So, I mean, and again, we're getting back to pointing fingers, and this is not where I wanted to go. So I really don't want to continue this line of
Let's move on.
Can I interrupt for a second and ask you a question,
it's
Mike?
over. We lost the money. We need to recover. We have new management there, and that's where we are.
Mike, how I don't want to say
And the
tired of it,
process
but
it was flawed, Brian. There is no doubt. Hopefully it won't be. It won't be now.
It won't be with you running the show, and I think that this. I think that this decision
but
shows
again,
that.
pointing fingers right now. I mean, if I lost Connor Shane, I don't have anybody to replace him, and he's doing things to help me set the events up and to do the marketing that I'm not sure that I have the bandwidth or the capability to do myself. We have cut payroll from 225, payroll, salary, and expenses from 225 to 70. Connor makes less than that. That's with all benefits in there. That's significant. We are projected to make money in 2023. We're going to make money. Isn't that, assuming everything goes well, we're going to make money. The biggest mistake the USAR did was not realizing that they couldn't afford, and this is no casting aspersions on the prior executive director, but not realizing that we really can't afford to pay an executive director. That's a really scary thing because I don't know who's going to replace me, but we really can't afford to pay an executive director. And I'm working 50 hours a week right now or more.
More. I don't talk. You don't call me back anymore.
Amount of things to do. I mean, we're stuck with dealing with players' health and safe sport. That is talk about a flawed process. Mm-hmm. There are many things that we can do better. I'm trying to get our feet on the ground, and then once we get our feet on the ground, we can ask the question, what's next?
Mike,
all right, I put that last question back up.
Yeah, and I put that up, Mike, because I think you're doing a good job of answering questions, but at some point, aren't you going to get tired?
I don't know what you want me to say. I come in, I'm the executive director now. All right. When I came in, I didn't realize it was this bad. All right. And so what we have done, we have eliminated the executive director payroll. We've eliminated the payroll for Renee, and we're not replacing that. Basically, what you've done is you've got me and you've got my wife, Karen, that basically took over those two positions. All right. We were both retired. Karen's still working with the IRT, so we're both full-time racquetball. Okay. Is that ideal? Should we have somebody more capable than me? Sure, but I don't know where we're going to get the money to pay them. I'm smart. I'm dedicated. I'm going to see this through. And we've made a lot of progress. We've paid off 2/3 of the payables. We've paid off all the small payables, and we've paid off portions of both the courts. So, Norm's comment that the fact that we still owed money to Texas A&M and to Minnesota is not valid. All right. We're doing the best we can. I've put money in. I've gone out to the racquetball community, and I've had 7, 8 people that are putting money in with me, matching me. So the racquetball community is stepping up. I get people all the time that are telling me that they're sending checks in. So that I think the community is stepping up. Okay. Is there a guarantee that we're not going to screw up in the future? No. I mean, I get it. We've seen this movie before, but it ain't going to happen when I'm here. How long am I going to keep this job? I don't know.
Mike, you said you needed $100,000 by the end of the year. How close to that are you?
More than halfway.
Good.
We're working hard. Memberships are on an uptick. I can't tell you how excited I am about the next gen tournaments. I'm a little concerned about the entries for singles and doubles. I mean, I will be extremely disappointed if the racquetball community doesn't come to this tournament. I get it. It's 4 weeks from Longhorn, but it's been 4 weeks from Longhorn pre-COVID. People need to come and support and play this tournament. And it's going to be a good tournament. It's at Arizona State, for God's sakes. I went to Arizona State. It's at Arizona State in February. Wow.
You went to Arizona State?
You betcha. Undergrad and a graduate degree there.
You
Sun
lucky
Devils.
that is
It was heaven on earth. Oh my God.
What
heaven
a campus. My nephews go. Well, you guys know Jason Menino. His boys go there.
Oh my God. It's hard to get to class.
Well, guess what,
really
Mike?
is.
I'll be there. But we'll talk about later what.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to
playing.
be there. As people probably know, Karen and I are going to be on a 3-week vacation beginning in January that we had booked long before I took this job, and it was impossible to change. But that's it. So,
well, Mike, you're doing what you're doing is truly incredible. I will thank you forever. Even the attempt I played a big role, I hope, in telling you that. You got to take this position and try to do the best.
Yeah, I blame you for that.
I understand. I accept blame because I know I'm not the only one.
It's okay.
But I do. Again, many people know. Obviously, the elephant in the room, which it isn't, is that I don't sanction events, and it's not about you. If I do anything, it's going to be for you and my trust and belief in you and Karen. So that we'll leave that open to discussion, but I don't need any snide comments from people. Oh, are you going to, you're going to promote or support now, Leo? You know what I mean? Like, not necessary. If I do it, it's for Mike and Karen Grisz, period. And the sport. I'll continue
and
to
I
do
don't
what
want that, I mean, and I know you guys want to move on to other things, but let me just close by saying, USA, if we need a governing body for the sport. This is the reason I'm doing this. We need a governing body for the sport.
Tell us why. Stop right there, because people are going to say why.
USA Racquetball has been flawed. You can talk about its structure, but its structure isn't going to change. We've got to get people involved. We've got to get people to play in tournaments. No USAR, no USA team. If you don't care about that, okay. But no USAR, no national events. Remember, of the 4 national events we're running, 3 of them are next-gen tournaments. Who else is going to do those if USAR doesn't? So, I mean, if you're on this call and you're not a member, rejoin. Support racquetball. Money's not going in anybody's pocket. It's to keep us alive and to keep us growing, and so that we can have a conversation in 6 months and say, okay, what's next? And we're not going to cancel the tournament, period. Okay.
Is that, yeah, I didn't see that. Put that back, Simone. What was that in response to? I'm sorry.
I'm not going to cancel that tournament.
I want to know if there was a number.
But there's got to be a number, no? Like
Magic
if
number.
we don't get to
We're
a
not,
certain number.
I mean, I will tell you, if we got like less than 100 participants, well, I'm done too. I mean, why in the heck
Don't say that.
would I do this if we only got 100 people in this tournament?
Mhm.
We got to have more than that. People have got to step up and play, and I'm confident that they will. I mean, you've got 400 at the Longhorn. We had 400 at the Open. Heiser's tournament in Denver is going to have 300 to 400. There's tournaments out there. This is another national event. It's got singles and doubles. It's a national championship. People need to play.
Mike Grisz, Leo, I appreciate you coming on, Mike. I really do. You're
All right.
honest.
Thank you,
You're
guys.
open. You don't mind talking. You don't mind taking the
I know
fire.
I was on too long. I'm sorry.
No worry.
We could keep going and going. There's no doubt about it. So, Mike, thank you. Karen, thank you. We'll be talking to you more. Leo and I, we're going to continue. Mike, again, thank you. Have a great night, and we'll talk soon. All right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Happy
Thanks,
New
Mike.
Year.
You too.
Enjoy your vacation.
You too.
I hate to be this guy, but I'm going to be. Does pickleball have a national governing body? or association?
Yes, USA Pickleball.
And what do they do? Like, what do they do to like? I don't know. You know a lot more about pickleball. What does it do?
They didn't go after kids.
What do you mean?
All the chatter about, we need to, recruit juniors, but pickleball didn't go after kids.
Like it wasn't their.
That wasn't their number one drive. It is
Like
now.
Like
Now
getting
that they have
juniors
all the
to-
players, now you're seeing like Tyson McGuffin and
Mhm,
Catherine Parenteau. Now they're all doing all these junior clinics.
mhm, mhm.
But
Yeah, I have my own vision and thoughts on junior racquetball and what needs to be done, and I came up through the ranks. We could talk about that, but let's take a quick commercial.
let's do a
And
commercial
we'll-
because we need to talk about some things that
There's a lot to talk about.
Grisz touched on it.
Yeah,
I want the comments.
And you fans and you players, don't move, stay there, because we're going to actually run your comments. Simone's going to put your comments up. If Leo and I see something, we're going to put them up. We're going to also do some giveaways. We want to hear from you. This stuff is for you. All
What
right.
stood out the most about what Grisz just said to you? Put it in the comments. Drop it down in there.
We'll be right back. Simone, let's talk about Frank Hotels.
I love this commercial.
Leo, Mark Frank, the owner of that, and he was a big racquetball player. He gave you open invite, man. I mean, there's some cool stuff about being part of Beyond the Court. You get to, he said,
And a
Leo,
discount code.
He's like, anytime. Oh, there is a discount code, by the way. Go to frankhotels.com, book a room. When you check out, in the discount code, put Sudsy. Just put Sudsy. I don't even know what the discount is, but the man loves racquetball. He's going to be a national champ. He will be an age division, potentially Masters champ. That's right. I said it, Joanne, Pomodoro, and anybody else out there. Leo, I love having Mike on. I consider him a friend, and Karen. They've always been very good to me, and Veronica. But I didn't ask him this, and I ask all of you, everybody watching. There's no doubt I believe Mike is doing everything he can.
I believe that.
A year from today, what's different about USA Racquetball?
We should have asked him that.
Well, I'm asking all of you, players, fans, whether you support, whether you don't. What is different? What is different, Leo? I said it earlier. This is crazy. I've been in the sport personally for 5 decades. And I want to know, what's different a year from today?
He put a plan up on their website 7 days ago.
And tell me.
People, remember, first they came out and said, hey, here's our financial situation. And then people were like, well, where's your plan? And they came out with a plan 7 days later.
How's the plan? What are your thoughts on the plan?
Talked about being solvent by March 2023, which he said that tonight.
I told him on a phone call, Leo. I said,
which means just being able to pay your debts.
I said, for you to do that, that's going to be the easy part. I said, what's going to be different moving forward? We're kind of now getting right into the 2022 year in review, as well as piggybacking it with what to expect in 23. I think Mike's done an amazing job at that. I think he's going to do that.
He said more sanctioned events. He said more promotion of outdoor racquetball. So all the outdoor people got to love hearing that. Now let's see some action.
I love that. I do love that. That would be good.
There was a comment today in Keep Racquetball Great. I think somebody grabbed a screenshot. It said our partners. And someone said, where's the outdoor logo? So, you got to make the outdoor people happy.
In your opinion, Leo, and actually not Leo, all of you, fans, everybody listening and watching, does USA Racquetball, do they have their finger on the pulse of our sport, of you, of the fans, of the players? Can you guys hear Jules and Mateo? They just got home. They went to like a Christmas light view. Yes,
Yep.
you can. Okay,
Yep.
good.
It's
Well,
the
there's
holidays.
Jules and Mateo. They're excited. You know, they just came home from an outdoor viewing of some Christmas extravaganza lights. But I was here with you guys. You know, and that matters. And my wife supports that. You know, as you all know, Leo. She said no. She said, "Babe, you stay and you do the show with Leo and talk to everybody." So thank you all for supporting us and being part of this. But of course, thank you, Veronica, and I hope you enjoy the kids in the background. So yeah, Leo, what are your thoughts on that?
He talked about membership marketing and renewals in his plan. He touched on it again tonight. In the plan, he said fix the players' health and safe sport integration. That's kind of a push to the back. Talked about working on the next U.S. Open, which we need to talk about that.
So I'm getting crazy texts. We got tons of comments in here from everybody. USAR stuff. I just got a text from a very influential, high-level personality and person in our sport that says the structure of the board needs to change. And Mike Grisz just said it's not going to change. So we'll see. Mike Grisz, I support you. The ideology and what we've seen, I'm not quite there yet. But that doesn't mean I don't support you. So let's go. Let's move on, Leo. Let's go. What do we got?
Well, I'm getting messages
I know.
too.
It's hard to yeah. Look at Mike Coulter, MC Vegas I mean, we do have to move on. I mean, if the fans want us to stay here, we can. Let's do a 2022 USAR recap. And then we'll kind of feed into the 23, or maybe we already did it. I mean, the big stories of 2022 for USAR was obviously the main one was the major loss of the US Open. Let's talk about the positives. Hey, we were able to pull off a national singles and national doubles. There was a junior nationals. What else you got for me on that?
Well, personally for me, for 2022, and let's ask everybody in the chat. Don't forget, we're doing a T-shirt giveaway. You got the T-shirts.
You want to see another one? So I have blue, and check out
T-shirt giveaway tonight. Drop.
So this was number
comment
5. This was number 5.
This is what
see
you
the 5. See the number 5 right there?
Yeah, I love that color.
Yeah, this was cool. This was the Christmas version, and then this was number 4, which was kind of Thanksgiving. Everybody loved this. Oh, sorry, the lighting.
What size is that one?
Right here in my hand. This
What
one
size? What sizes are you giving away there?
That's a small, but I think we have a couple various sizes.
Yeah, the number 4.
Number 4, pretty cool.
Yep.
So yeah, we're going to give them away. The more you stay involved, engage, share it, feed it. We want to see those numbers grow. The viewers. We see you on YouTube. We see you on Facebook. We see you on Twitter. Simone's doing an amazing job. Leo, let's go. What do we got?
So yeah, 2022 for me was obviously 3-wall ball in Vegas. That was a highlight for me personally. I want to hear from you. Let me know what your best tournament of the year for you in 2022 was. I guess number 2 for me would be the junior nationals. It's just that it is what it is. It's the kids. They make it fun. They don't talk politics. They don't talk trash. They don't have drama. I love the junior nationals. I did the live stream. I basically let the kids just kind of take over. I let them commentate. We have a blast. Parents bring me coffee. That was it for me for 2022. Those are my top 2 events that I actually attended. What about you? What were your top 2 tournaments that you went to? Besides the Treasure Coast.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta go with the Treasure Coast series. It was a pretty kick-ass of series. We had that vision of doing 5 events, and we did. Thank you to all the sponsors and the players. I just saw a comment from Gene Geisendorf. I hope I didn't chop up your name. And Gene said, "Thank you for posting lower level players in your Treasure Coast tournaments on YouTube." Leo, we love it. We say it all the time. Push as much racquetball as possible. Whoever you are, no matter what level you are, no matter what you do, just turn on your phone. If you don't know how to do it, call Leo and I, and we'll help you out. Just put as much racquetball out there as possible. But I would definitely start out, the one that jumps out at me, again, working with you in Vegas at the 3-wall ball World Championships. Mike Coulter, his team does an amazing, amazing job. It was just awesome. Can't wait for 23, and we'll get to that later in the show. But that event was the premier event for me. I got to be honest, Leo. I went to the World Seniors in New Mexico. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
It was a great event, man. You know, to opposite ends of the spectrum, what was super cool was instead of the juniors, it was kind of those players in that, right? It was in the I like Steve. Leo and Norm were great on commentary. That means I wasn't, but that's okay. I mean, that's how I read. That's the competitor in me, Leo. So the NMRA, and I know Joanne was on earlier. It was awesome, man. That New Mexico event, I'm going to be back this year. The World Seniors, again, they just love it. They just want to play. No, there's no bull. They enjoy it. But I can tell you this, they're all as passionate as we are about the sport because they bridge the gap from when we were at our best to where we are today.
Mm-hmm.
They were, we've ridden that wave. So I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, our events, the Treasure Coast events, that series of events was awesome. We did I think we really did a service to a lot of racquetball players that aren't those 5%ers, Leo. The players, a lot of the players that are watching, we're going to be there no matter what. We're going to be part of the sport. We're going to be, if there's a tournament across the street or it's in Arizona, we're going to go. Those national level type players. The Treasure Coast was more for that player that nobody knows. And we really enjoyed it. It was a good time. We're super excited to announce. I see Simone put up the ticker there that we have picked the dates for events 6 through 10. I can't believe it. It's crazy. This all started with Veronica and I sitting there, and we said, hey, you know what? I'm going to run an event. And then I said, no, I'm not. I actually think we're going to do a series of events. And, I spoke to you, and you said, yeah, you can do it because you're so experienced in it. And here we are. So it's exciting. We're looking forward to it.
I want to add my top 3. You can't just do 1 and 2. You got to do top 3. And the top 3 for me, I haven't hosted a tournament in so long. I helped you just a little bit on the side. You have your good crew. I'm always here to help you. And
no, you help a lot.
The Treasure Coast was fun.
By the way, Keith Lewis online. Keith, what's up, buddy? Tournament director extraordinaire of the Treasure Coast series.
There he is. Keith's the man.
Thank you. Go ahead, Leo.
But I hadn't run a tournament in so long. So, big shout out to Team Dovetail. Mike Kinkin put on the Dovetail Open down in Florida. We put that tournament on, and that was actually my first IRT event to be a part of. So that's my number 3. What about you? You have a number 3 or not?
I love any racquetball event, Leo. I'm sorry.
That you're not running.
Yeah, exactly. It's so much work. I'm on the phone with you I talked to Leo like up until the first visit to Sam's Club or Costco. And then I lose him for the weekend until there's an emergency. And I'm like, Leo, I need your help. What do you do? Check flights, fly in. But I love all the events. That was a great event. The one in Sarasota. We just need more racquetball.
There's a lot of racquetball in Florida.
Yeah, we're doing well. We're doing well. We're kicking
Florida
ass.
does well.
A lot of energy, a lot of good people. Chad Bailey, Robert Lyons, Gary Wargo, Rod Van Dyke. These people are passionate, Leo. They want racquetball to go, go, go. Keith Lewis, the Gene Fries of the world. These are the ones, just like all of you, everybody in the chat room right now. It's about us right now. It's about what we can do. And if we do our part, racquetball will continue to strive and thrive. Mike Coulter, Mike, without you, we lose the biggest and baddest and best event, what Leo and I both consider to be for the year now. And I think Jim Heiser's event in Colorado is right there as well. So it's going to be awesome. It's a lot of fun.
Can we just get it in there now? I'm telling you, this is it. This is the crown jewel. He already has the date up. There it is. I don't even know if you can book your hotel, but as soon as you can book your hotel, book that hotel. Stay across the That's what Carla did is she's standing in the center median on Las Vegas Boulevard. On the left side where the KMW Gutterman logo is the Strat Hotel. And on the other side of the street right there are all the racquetball and the handball courts, the VIP, They even have portable bathrooms out there. You don't have to leave. You get your food there. This is the premier event at racquetball. Can I say that?
You did, and there's no doubt about it. And quite frankly, Leo, now that the U.S. Open has been postponed, Mike Coulter is going to step it up. And MC, I'm sorry, I did get your text, but I got it late last second. And obviously we're a little busy, but we're going to bring Mike Coulter on often to promote his event. Leo and I, we plan to be there, no doubt about it. Great event. Go to Vegas. Plan on it. Just plan on it. You don't have
go early.
Yeah, you don't have the U.S. Open now. So if there was a question, go to both of those events. Go to Colorado, the Jim Heiser event, the World Singles Doubles in August, and go to Vegas. All right. I won't be offended if you can't get to a Treasure Coast Series event. That's okay. Everybody can use a weekend in Florida. I get it. Veronica's going to turn on the entries here soon. It's not quite the same level. Mine's more old school, Leo, but the World Singles and Doubles there in August 10th through the 13th, we're going to be there. Veronica and I will be there. You'll be there. And guess what? Mike Coulter is making sure that we're going to be there as well at his event in Vegas. So, racquetball world, Leo and I are blessed. We have the ability to get to these events. We've been part of them for decades now. That's crazy to say, isn't it? And we're really telling you, go do it. Go check it out if you can. We know it's not easy. Obviously financially it's tough. I don't want to talk about, where our economy is going to be in 23, because really do any of us know? But what Leo and I are going to do the best to promote the sport. And to be your voice, and we want you to be heard. There's a lot of you that aren't heard. And, to touch on piggyback earlier, right, Leo, about, thank you for showing those lower matches. Thank you. We don't have this without you. It's not, like I said, the better players, the best players in the world, they're always going to be showcased, right? But really the masses and the numbers, Leo, are there. Frank Lopez, Frank Lopez, it was great. You're a celebrity in our sport. Having you at the event, we're going to have you on the show. It's amazing. We can't wait to do that. So, it's all about you. So let's keep it up. Leo, what do you got? Let's go.
I love it. I love all the comments. Hi, Frank. I want to say hi to some people, especially some people I haven't seen in a while. Look at that. Brent Walters checking in. Ron Forrester. Ethan Wadsworth. What's up, Ethan? Good to see you in here. So yeah, let's keep the show going. Next topic. And hey, before we go, I want to give a shout out to Charles George. Charles is a big-time baller, big-time racquetball player. He was in Vegas at 3-wall ball. He plays nationals. And, as you know, he sent us a message and said, hey, I love what you guys are doing. You guys said you were looking for a little support and some donations for the show. So thank you, Charles, for the donation. I know we've had some people in the past donate and send stuff anonymously. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. And if you guys want to continue the love, you can Venmo the show. Just Venmo at Sudsy M. Is that right?
It is. Yeah, it is. It's tough. Leo and I, the truth is we do this, right? We don't get paid to do it. We love the sport. We do it. It's both of our passion. But we appreciate it. There are expenses to do it, and it's on us. It's up to us. But there's so many people out there that support, whether it's financially, whether it's emotionally, whether it's product. There's a lot of different things that come into that. And obviously, you see those sponsors down on the border. They don't, those are personal sponsors and friends and supporters that I feel do a ton for the sport to show that. So yeah, Leo, it's, you deserve it. I said it to you earlier. If I could, if I was the Tiger Woods or Federer of racquetball, I would financially do a lot more for the sport and everybody. So we appreciate it. These microphones aren't cheap.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you. Hey, Charles George, thank you. Leo did send, he sent that over. I appreciate that. So yeah, if any of you ever want to, we don't, it's a tough thing to talk about. It's kind of like the stars, Leo, right? We don't love to talk about it, but it's a necessary evil and it helps. Nope. Get that off. The ticker you can throw back up with the Venmo, Simone. We don't love. No, don't do the stars. It's the stars are weak. So
They kind of
all right.
faded out, didn't they?
I think what happened was people realized like, oh, if you donate 100 stars, you basically gave what, 10 cents or
I
cent?
generated a lot of money though with the stars. So I want to thank each and every one of you. You know who you are. because
You were really good at it.
They played along. People loved it.
I know,
They loved it.
man.
It was a contest. You know, you're donating, and yeah, you paid a little bit more for them, but you still got the money. Some
Yeah.
people said, "Oh, all you did was ask for stars." It's like, okay, well then quit.
Well, the
donating.
funny, I love, you know, when people say, I think when we did the bag or something, somebody said, well, where does the money go? Well, if you Venmo that right there, it's going directly half to Leo, half to me, and it's going to cover, you know, different things. It's a time of giving. No, just kidding.
Yeah, no, I had fun with the stars. Raised money for IRT, the LPRT when I commentated. I raised money for USA Racquetball. And that's what it was for. It was to raise money for them, not me. I didn't get one penny of that. I did it for those organizations, and the fans got to donate and be a part of it. But it kind of faded out. So
welcome to Racquetball. All right,
welcome
let's move on.
Venmo.
What's Venmo?
Welcome to
Venmo. What's the next topic?
All right, let's move forward to 2023. Let's fast forward.
Okay.
Look, I think we've talked enough about Mike Grisz, and I had one more question I wanted to ask him, and I didn't get to ask him that question. But look, eventually Mike's going to get tired of answering these questions. You know, people are still commenting even in the chat. Let's pull the chat.
I want to hear the players. I want to hear all of you. I want to hear from you, the players, the fans. Because honestly, that's why we do this.
How long are we going to keep hammering him? How long is someone going to say,
we're not
why do we
hammering
keep
him.
trying to help? Why do we keep trying to give money? Where's the change? What is the plan? You know, so it's eventually it's, you know, it's got to get old.
That's for him to, you know, that's his deal, man. I don't.
And you can't say it's his job because he's not getting paid for it, even though he's taking it without pay.
I gotta laugh. I'm sorry, Keith Lewis. Don't do that again. Keith Lewis just sent 500 stars. We don't send this.
JT just sent. Oh, he just put the value.
No. Keith Lewis just sent 500 stars, and Keith, thank you. Don't do that. We appreciate that. So anyway,
because see, that's how it worked. When you donate stars, you got a shout out. And people were like, well, for 200 stars, I'll do a shout out. And I was just like, JTRB just gave 200 stars. Thank you, JT.
Hey, you know who just logged on to watch? We got to say and congrats to the year-end #1 racquetball player in the world, Daniel De La Rosa.
DLR.
Daniel, congratulations on finishing #1 again. I believe that's #2. Pretty phenomenal. Don't leave us full-time and go to pickleball just yet. Not yet. I mean, I know he's got some amazing opportunities. You know that? Daniel, we'll bring you back. But Leo, I don't know how long we can keep him because pickleball wants him. Pickleball wants him. And Daniel, if you have to go, we get it.
He's not.
He loves racquetball. He loves racquetball.
Right.
Well, Leo, sorry.
No,
I gotta say it. I gotta say
Commercial?
You just got your first Venmo.
Oh, we do shout outs for Venmo. We do shout outs for stars.
Gene Fry, and we'll get back to that. Gene Fry said, Sudsy and Leo, you guys are great. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Gene. Happy holidays. Gene Fry, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, let's go, Leo. Come on.
And since we're doing shout outs, man, I got to give a shout out to Mandy Schaff, Big Al Schaff's wife. She Venmoed me some money for the dog. So thank you, Mandy. I don't know if Big Al's watching. I'll see you guys at the Longhorn. So we're doing shout outs, man. I gotta give a shout out to people. I know people don't do this for shout outs and expect anything, but sometimes it's fun to let people know how people are generous and help out. So thank you, Mandy.
It's important, man. You're making a difference. You know, we're going to do, Leo, you and I and Keith knows, we're going to do a special edition of Beyond the Court where we are going to shout out the Treasure Coast players and give them some awards. We have best overall. We have most improved. We have impact player. We have kind of an MVP. I don't want to get too into it. Player to watch. But Leo, you're going to kind of host Keith Lewis and I when we do this special award show. So I'm looking
Yeah, I'm
forward to
super
that.
excited. Yeah, we're gonna do
We'll
kind of like
announce
an
that.
online awards ceremony,
Yes.
kind of like an Oscars type, ESPN-ish.
Give some awards away.
Yeah, we'll give the awards out. We'll bring in the guests online and talk to them just for a couple of minutes. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be new.
Hey, Gene Fry, thank you again. We appreciate that. That really means a lot. It helps. So, all right, Leo, let's go. What do we got?
All right, let's keep rolling on. The first tournament for 2023 for most is going to be the infamous Longhorn Open in Austin, Texas at the University of Texas. That is not this weekend, but next weekend, right here in my hometown. I know there's a lot of you online here that are going to come play in this tournament. I mean, it's back. It was postponed due to COVID, and now it's back. And the Longhorn is right up there with U.S. Open type numbers, 3-wall ball numbers, World Singles and Doubles Open Championship numbers. I think Soli has capped it at around 385, and he got it. And there's a waiting list. So,
well, guess what? I have an announcement to make. Daniel De La Rosa is going to be there. He just said it. He's going to be playing. He just announced it in our chat. He said, "See you at the Longhorn." So that's exciting. Soli does an amazing job. Daniel, what do you think about the black ball, the gearbox ball being the new ball? You can just comment in the chat. We'll bring Daniel on again. Obviously, he deserves it. He deserves to be on the show. And, Leo, I'm torn because I always tell Daniel, I said, I'm not talking to you till you're number one in the world in pickleball. But you know what? He did finish number one in the world again in racquetball. So I'll keep talking to him. Yeah. And it was great. It was great to see Alvi hitting the ball. If you didn't see that, Alvaro Beltran back on the court hitting racquetballs after that crazy injury. It was awesome. So we'll see. I think they're getting ready to play the Mexican Nationals. But yeah, Longhorn, great event. They do it right. Soli's doing it right. And it matters. So good job to Soli. Keep it up. Daniel will be there. De La Rosa. Hopefully we'll see Conrado Moscoso. Those two, I think, are the top two players in the world right now. Unfortunately, we will not see Kane, as we know he's still recovering from an injury. But, Leo, Kane might be there, just not competing. Is that accurate? Fair to say?
Excuse me, but Andre's number 2.
Oh, he's ranked number 2, but I think he's that Conrado and Daniel are the two best players in the world today.
Oh, okay.
Anybody disagree?
You can say that. Well,
Fans,
you can say
players?
That, but
hey,
that's what the rankings are for. And Andre Parilla is number 2 in the world. And I want to ask you.
Love him.
I want to ask you. This is so the IRT has changed their season now.
Okay.
So the season has ended, and now we are at the first tournament of the year.
Okay. What
are these guys? They didn't have much of a break. So are they ready? Have they had enough time off? You get banged up, you got a little nagging injury or, whatever, everybody's into the season. But it seems like we rolled right into the first tournament of the year, which is a Longhorn.
Speaking from experience, Leo, yeah, you've had enough time. Figure it out, banged up or not. We used to play every weekend. You know that. We would go 2 weekends in a row, sometimes 3. Get ready to ball. That's plenty of time to be ready. Daniel, feel free to comment in there if you're still on here and watching. But yeah, there's no doubt that's enough time. Most of these guys are in their early to mid-20s to late 20s. So yeah, there's no doubt that's plenty of time. And Leo, I gotta, before I let you comment, Mari Cruz Ortiz.
Mari Cruz
sent us a Venmo. Mari Cruz.
What?
She did. And you're getting a screenshot of all these, so you know
thank
exactly
you,
what
Mari
it
Cruz.
is. So we just want to say thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
And but quite frankly, thank you. I believe we have to give a shout out to her sponsor, George DeWilloughby, her personal sponsor, who makes that possible.
Thank you, George.
So
George,
yeah,
and Amy.
I think it's plenty of time. You got plenty of time. There's no doubt about it. And if not, call Cliff Swain. Call me. Call Jason Menino. Call Kane. Call Alvaro. Ask them if they think you've had enough time. Yeah, you have enough time. Be ready.
I can't believe Alvaro was already on the court.
I love it and hate it. We spoke about it offline.
He has to do it.
That's what I hate about it.
He's good at it.
One of the best to do it. But should he still have to do it after, he's what, 43, 44?
It's his job.
But with all he's accomplished.
It's his job. It's his passion. It's his love. It's his desire.
But you said the key word, you said he has to do it.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. We love you, Alvy. We'll bring you in too.
Always.
Okay. What do we got? Let's go.
Yeah, let's keep rolling into tournaments for 2023. Just to kind of highlight, immediately that next weekend will be the Women's Senior Masters. Good luck to all the ladies playing over in Tucson Athletic Club. I love that facility. I don't know if you've ever played there.
I have.
Then we move into the national doubles and singles. That's a hot topic.
Where is this one?
This is at ASU.
Yes.
February 1st through the 5th. I'm glad that they have been keeping it away from Valentine's Day, but there's only 31 people signed up. And I'm getting concerned.
Yeah, I want to hear from the fans and players and everybody watching.
Who's going? Are you going?
Well, I am going.
If you're going in the chat, let us know.
I am going. But that doesn't tell you what divisions I might or might not be playing. I have a tournament to run the weekend after. The first, number 6. Yeah, you know what that's like, man. But I love racquetball. I'm going to do it. Just go sign up. I don't know. I got to ask Veronica. Leo, can you text Veronica? She's not too far away. Did she turn on the signups for events 6 and 7 for people to enter? Go enter right now. Come down to Florida, February. It's beautiful. Let's do it. Talk to me in the chat. Are you going to be there? You know what I did last Treasure Coast event, by the way? And Leo, no. I don't think I told you. We didn't get enough video. Towards the end of the event, a bunch of the players that were still around, they wanted me to get on the court. And I pretty much just stayed on the court, constantly playing players, 7 points, 9 points. It was just awesome. It was so much fun. But anyway, that's the Treasure Coast, and we will talk about the Beach Bash also. Yeah, Leo.
Brett Walters is going to be there.
Arizona, man.
Be dope.
It's like Mike said, right?
What would you play? What are you going to play?
This is a question that we may not answer right at the moment.
You're going to play with Alex? Vero?
Yeah, I don't know about playing
Kane.
U.S. team qualifier. Right? Ooh, I'll take Kane in crutches on the team with me. Actually, that didn't turn out the way we wanted it to, but that's besides the point. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I will be there. Divisions are not confirmed yet.
Robert Lyons brings up and I was just about to follow up with that. The IRT has the Lewis Drug Pro-Am January the 19th. Then they move into February, the IRT, the Savant Consulting Pro-Am, Donna Williams, February 16th to the 19th. So the IRT is coming out of the gate pretty strong for 2023.
Do they have a choice? I mean, you better. We need some energy. We need some excitement. We need them to come out strong. Let's go. Let's do it.
The LPRT doesn't have their first event until February.
Well, I moved our LPRT event that was originally going to be in January, and we moved it to June for a few reasons. Makes it easier for the ladies to travel to Florida. It's quite expensive, in January, February, or what we call in Florida in season. And I think the girls will like the beach and the pool and everything a lot better in the summertime. And obviously Veronica plays a major role in that decision. So,
yeah, the LPRT will be at the Arizona State doubles with the LPRT Pro Stop at ASU.
That'll be fun.
Always a great time there. I love that facility.
Yeah, it's ASU, Shank, man. ASU.
Winterton's there. They all function out of that facility. All right. Hey, let's talk about the new one. People were talking about all over the internet. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. The Zalani, Xelani, Zalani Open, February 25th, 26th in Miami, Florida.
I love it.
$125 a division.
What's that? The entry fee?
$125 for singles, $125 for doubles. Doesn't matter. No frills tournament, no shirt, no food, no nothing. You put your 125 down, you play. He's paying, I think, $3,000 for first. You know, he pays it all the way down to the quarters. I think if he's wanting 60, he wants 64 players. I think 64, 125. That's about 8,000 in a prize purse take, and then I think his payout was about 6.
Do we have a graphic on that, Simone, or no?
And if you're ranked in the top 30 in the IRT, you cannot play in it in the singles or the doubles.
Yeah, I mean, go for it. You know, I love it. Have
Alex
at it.
Zamudio is the guy putting it on.
I think, Alex, are you on here? If you are, can you comment? Because we're going to get you on. I love it. Anything, again, that's promoting racquetball, go for it. I wish you the best.
In where?
In Florida. Yeah, I wish. Yeah, we have a lot of energy down here. I wish you the best of luck, Alex. I truly hope. I hope it works out, and I'm all for it. We support it.
Yeah,
Agreed?
good luck to you, Alex. I hope you get the players. I kind of relate it to what other people do. They just want to get together. They want to play some ball. They want to throw some cash down, and they want to play. No frills, no shirt, no food, not to sweat all that stuff. Just bring your sticks.
Let me ask everybody. Thank you, JTR Ball. He posted the link right there. You know, what are your thoughts? You are the heart and soul, the players, the fans. What do you think about that? You know, like Leo said, no frills. Because, for instance, Leo, at our events, as you know, I do food, I do shirts. The only thing
banners, court decals, stickers,
decals,
shirts.
The only thing I didn't do is awards this year, but we're gonna have the award show, and I can promise you this:
Gatorade.
Yeah, keep it going. Everything like you Staples runs.
Staples.
You know it costs money.
Pizza.
We are going to do that award show, so that'll be fun, and we'll give out those awards. Yeah, Frank Lopez, love what Alex is thinking. Out of the box, agreed. Go for it, do it. Let's see what happens. But then I really like what we're doing with the Treasure Coast. You guys get all this stuff. We're spoiling you. I mean, come on, look at these amazing shirts. By the way, Leo, tell everybody they can win one, right?
So all you have to do is keep commenting. What size is that one, by the way?
This one here in hand. Let's see, it's brand new.
If you want to win that shirt, type in the
small.
Comments. Yeah, type in small blue number 5. Tom McCloskey makes a comment that says no frills, no food, no nothing. Sounds like a USAR national event.
But then I got a question.
Yes.
Does the entry fee need to reflect that?
He did. They lowered it by $30, which I like.
So what's the entry fee? What is it?
Like 85. 85 now. 85 if you do early entry. I think you can even save some money, I think.
So you could play, I mean, and I don't see why it's any different. And please, all of you, I appreciate the feedback. If I'm charging 80 total for 2 events, but you're getting all the frills, should I charge more? Or just take them? You know what I mean? Because our expenses are...
It's hard to take things away.
Similar, I know.
But it's hard to add them without increasing costs. You know, we have several people in here that have run tournaments that definitely understand that.
Good point.
I'm fine with USAR. You know, I'm not going to be playing in the tournament. Let's just set the record straight right there. But if I was, which I was and would if I had to, I'm glad that they're telling me up front that they're lowering my entry fee and they're not going to provide me meals. I know that ahead of time. So now I know, and I'm happy. Just saying.
Okay. That's fair. What do you all think in there? We see Frank Lopez, Lance, Norm. Norm's asking us, Leo. I saw that. He wants
what?
Norm wants to know.
Simone,
throw that up.
Same thing with Treasure Coast events.
No,
truly nice environment.
Norm wants to know about the 24-hour show, Leo.
Yeah, really quick on the 24-hour show. It's a lot more logistics than we thought about going for that duration, lining up the guests, figuring out the right time. Because let's be honest, we haven't even finished talking about some of the events for 2023. Is trying to find a time. I think 2023 for racquetball is going to be, it's going to be good for some. It might not be good for everybody, but it's going to be good for some. So that's what we're trying to fit in, is to find the right time, get the people together. Just turning it on and like if we were just to try to go right now and turning it on for 24 hours, just logistically, it's just not going to work.
But we could pull it off.
It's a lot of planning.
You and I could sit here and say, all right, we'll sit here till tomorrow at, say, what did we start? Hour and 15 minutes ago. We'll sit here for another 22 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
We could do it and get guests, but we're not going to do it. But we could do it. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of planning. It's a lot of time. Norm, we will do it. Leo and I just have to kind of get together and decide exactly.
Holidays caught up with us, just like everybody else. But
I like Norm's idea, and Leo, you and I discussed it, right? We even said, do we do it New Year's Eve? But anyway, we'll see. We're gonna do it. It's still there. All right, what do we got next, Leo? Let's
all right. Let's finish this up, and then we have some comments that we need to get to, because when we advertised and promoted this show, we asked people to give us some things to talk about. So
let's do it. Let's go to the comments.
For the fans and for the people that took the time to make the comments. Make sure I'm checking my notes. Okay, we can do that, or we can also finish up 2023 with are we going to see Kane in 2023? You and I both talk to him a lot.
Oh yeah, of course.
Not always about racquetball either. It's
a good point. That's a good point.
Life and his future.
I would say.
What do the fans think? You guys think we're going to see Kane in 2023?
Yeah. What do you think?
Yes or no?
But let me pose the question in a different way.
Frank says no. Right off the bat.
Frank Lopez says no. We won't see Kane. Do you want to see Kane? From a personal standpoint,
yes.
I wouldn't mind him taking a little bit of a break.
Yes.
And get that out of here. I don't like those stars. Simone, stop that. I told you, Simone, if you're gonna ask, basically put your hand out, just put the Venmo out. Yeah. I mean, we're gonna Leo and I are gonna split
going
it.
Crazy back there.
We got bills to pay.
Happy.
Simone's like, yeah, can you pay me, please? Simone, you're endless. We appreciate it. I would love to see Kane back on the court, Leo. No doubt. Will we?
I sure hope so.
It's a serious injury. He tore his Achilles. We'll have him on the show. We'll talk to him. I think he's better for racquetball when he's playing and he's on the court. What are your thoughts? Fans, Brian, I want to see Kane every tournament. But for his own health, 2023, he says no. Joanne Pomodoro, you say no. But is that you don't think you're going to see him, or you don't want to see him? That's what I mean, Leo? What are your thoughts?
I want to see Kane back. I want to see him back on the court. It's obviously not going to be full time. He's not going to be playing every pro stop. Maybe he will, but I don't think so. You know as well as I do, and so does every fan. Not really you as a fan. I'm saying you as a player, but us as fans know that there's a shelf life. And after that shelf life, you start to lose a step. And a lot of times it's a step that a lot of players didn't have. But you start to lose that step, and Kane has, had some injuries to overcome, and everybody knows that. And I think that just seeing him back on the court would make him feel good. It would make the fans feel good. He may not be the Kane of 10 years ago, and you can't go back to that. But people want to see him on the court. He's pure magic. There's only a few. You're one of them. Like we talked, Cliff, Marty. Even for me, Mike Yellen, and obviously Kane, it's special. So anytime that person is on the court, look, even now, Marty Hogan goes to outdoor tournaments and people are just loving just seeing Marty on the court. Not the same Marty, got the hitch, whatever he's got going on, but people, they love it. So I want to see Kane back on the court. Looks like a lot of people are still commenting in there. He says, Frank Lopez says he'll make a go at the 2024 U.S. Open. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I could see that. That's actually probably really good timing. I think it'd be cool. but it's also hard. He dominated for so many years.
Could
I
he
can
do
tell
like
you,
what you do though? Like starting to play with people in some
yeah,
fun divisions,
yes, I can see that.
maybe
I
a
can see that.
qualifier here sprinkled around.
I can see that. But it's hard. It's hard mentally when you're at such a level of dominance and competing to now not be that person. And I can speak from experience. And injuries are never good, and that's a serious injury. So we'll
I like
see.
Belinda's comment.
That's up to Kane.
Yeah. Yeah, it is up to him.
That's great, Belinda. He's great on the mic. I've been on the mic with him. It was Atlanta 2021, I believe, January, and I thought it was great. We got a lot of great feedback. So yeah, we'll have Kane back on the show. Leo, I did see a comment from Jesse about Rhonda. What about Rhonda?
Simone find that? If not, listen, for those of you that don't know, Rhonda just did a
Rhonda Racing.
video interview on YouTube on a radio show. I don't remember the name of it. Maybe JT's out there and he can post the link, but it was
JT
awesome.
Arbol. What's the link? Where's Rhonda's show?
It was awesome. It was awesome to hear from Rhonda. I'm a huge Rhonda fan. I don't know if she knows that, but maybe she does. But I'm a huge fan of Rhonda. I've followed her. I've known her family. But it was good to hear from her because she kind of quit playing LPRT events. She played the national singles in May, and then that was the last we saw of her. She didn't play the team route, which we forgot to mention in our 2022 recap.
That's all right.
That was a big event for me. But yeah, it was great to hear from Rhonda. She got a book coming out, which I think is pretty cool. She's writing a book, and she didn't release the date yet for when it's going to be published, but she's doing some coaching, some mentoring. So I enjoyed it. I watched every bit of it, and hopefully you guys can go check it out.
Yeah, I think for Rhonda, it's going to be it's up to her. She's at the next stage of her life. She will forever be an incredible, athlete on and off the court, and she's certainly going to give a lot back to the sport. She's a dear friend. She's also 44, I believe, 44. Yeah, 43.
But still
44.
looks 24.
Always, she's always done that. It's amazing, and I think that. I don't think we'll see her that much on the court either. And with that, I'm going to go segue. We're going to go right into Rocky Carson. Thank you,
What?
JT. JT, you're amazing. It's amazing.
Oh, I thought you meant Rocky was coming on the show. I was about to say.
No, I'm sorry. Leo, what are your thoughts on Rocky?
Yeah, really quick. Thank you, JT, for posting that. Just go to YouTube and type in Strict Vision Athletics. Go to their channel and watch that Rhonda Racich interview. This was kind of what you and I talked about is where we're going to be going in 2023 with racquetball. And, between the injuries and Kane, and then now you just talked about Rhonda. We haven't even talked about Paola yet. And now you're asking me about Rocky. I mean, are we getting close to the end of careers? It kind of seems like it does, because people are either moving on, they're getting injured, other opportunities in life, and that happens. It's happened to you, obviously. You've even had some, positions after you retired, and now here you are once again with Performance Chemicals, which is awesome for you guys, that transition. But Rocky, man, outside of Kane, just during that era, one of the most well-known, well-respected, second best player in the world. I mean, Rocky is the Iron Man, the Golden Boy, the face, and it seems like we're seeing less of Rocky, and that's the word coming out of the Carson camp is in 2023, we're going to see less Rocky Carson.
I don't think that's a bad thing. We all get to that point. Again, Rocky also early 40s to mid 40s. I think he's looking at taking the next steps in life, but will always be part of the sport like a few of us. And I think that it's good for him. I wish all my peers, my fellow peers, the absolute best, Leo. And I think that his wife Jen and him are developing a good real estate business out in California. And I think that I think we're going to see less of Rocky. And guess what, everybody? That's okay. It's okay. We want Rocky and his family to do what's best for him and his family. And that goes for Kane, and it goes for Rhonda, and it goes for Alvaro, and we'll touch on Paola soon. It's okay. Yeah, we're definitely seeing some changes.
Yeah, and everybody loves Rocky. He's a fan favorite. Easy to talk to, easy to approach. So I hope that the transition isn't a less of, and it's not more of, but like we say, coaching, still playing U.S. team events. He said he's still playing.
He could be
He's
a model. He
surfing
could be
model.
He could be. Speaking of Nick Arntz, thank you very much.
Nick MRA
Arntz
Live
just sent a Venmo donation to the show. Nick, we appreciate it. I think we need to have Nick on the show as a guest at some point too, Leo. What do you think, Simone?
Yeah, he is huge into the live streaming. He is behind the scenes for the MRA Live, which is the Minnesota Racquetball Association. I love it. They stream anything that they're associated with Minnesota Racquetball. I put Minnesota right up there with Florida. You guys are rocking it. You guys are doing events. Matt Miller, Michael, John Olson, V, Paige. There's a whole bunch of people. I'm sorry if I don't mention everybody, but there's a good crew up in Minnesota. Thank you, Nick. Thanks for
Leo, I just saw a post from our friend Joey Logan.
Joey.
And Simone, can you throw that up? It's no offense. It's not even close. Joey, you know where I'm from. I'm an East Coast guy, Leo. Biggie is Biggie. And this is a true story. I told Veronica one day Biggie Smalls is singing, he's rapping, he's spitting lyrics. And I said, babe, do you know who that is? And she said, no. I said, don't ever say that in public ever again. But to be fair, Joey Logan, who runs some kick-ass outdoor events on the west coast of Florida, get to it if you can. I did say also when Tupac, his voice and who he is, you got to know. But I'm a Biggie guy. Biggie first. Biggie Smalls is the illest, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Leo, what do we got?
Tom McCloskey with a good comment says, talking about the end of players' careers, if only there was some sort of governing body that was in place that was developing the next generation of young players here in the U.S., which segues into Junior Worlds. Can we talk about that? Because that's what that is. That's what Tom is talking about. Rocky graduating, and now we got the next gen. I don't know what term you want to call it, juniors, but you want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, rah juniors, right? We got to get juniors playing. But let's be honest, when juniors was kicking ass, and I was there, and all the greats you can name, anybody that you can name, whether it was Rocky Carson, Ronda Racich, we were just talking about, Paola Longorias of the world, Kane Wazelenchuk's, Cliff Swain's, junior racquetball was kicking ass. But it was kicking ass, Leo, because the parents played. And we talk about this off air a lot. I know it's fun to say we have to go get juniors playing. But in order to get juniors playing, we need to get their parents involved. We need to get the interest and demand and excitement, injected into the parents. So those college kids that are coming out, starting families out of, moving on to their career, the mid-20s, late 20s, 30s, early 30s, we have to attack them. We need to go get them introduced, get them excited about the sport the way the sport was in the 70s and 80s, and then the juniors will follow. There's a reason that Junior Nationals only has 70 or 80 players. I don't know. What was it last year, Leo? It's I hate hearing it.
It was a low number, yeah.
I know when I won my first Junior Nationals in the multi-bounce 8 and under, there was like, I don't know, Jim Heiser, if you're watching, it was like 40 or 50 kids in 8 and under multi-bounce. And it was because the parents, Jules and Mateo, will hit a racquetball because of Veronica and I. If we don't go get the parents or the soon to be parents or the, I don't know what, Gen X, Gen Z, I don't forget that, like early 20s, mid 20s, that group to start liking racquetball, juniors aren't going to play. It just doesn't matter. There's too many options out there. There's too many sports. There's too many quote unquote coaches, and there's too many video games and these and devices. You gotta go get the players, the parents to want to be involved. And I literally mean people that don't even realize they want to be parents soon. That's who we have to go attack. The junior nationals and these great players, Naomi Ross, junior world champion, Cole Sendry, DJ Mendoza. We love that, Lance. We absolutely love it. We got to go get the parents to be engaged and love it. Hey, I'm the first to say, free to all juniors. Go look. Go look, Leo, at the Treasure Coast. We're doing free entry to all juniors.
I saw that.
But guess what?
That's how it starts.
If the parents of my events don't have kids, I'm not going to get any.
Yeah.
They're playing basketball. They're playing soccer. They're on their devices. They're playing, Halo at Lalo online, playing Xbox or Sony PlayStation. I need the parents and all of you that are watching and us to have that same equal shared passion that we've done for so many years and decades to say, I want my kid, son or daughter, to go play racquetball. That's where I think there's a little bit of a glitch.
I agree. Hopefully that's going to change in the future. But I agree. We need to go get the parents that have the kids, because the parents drive the bus. And then you get the kids interested, and then the parents want to support the kids. So
did Lalo hear where his voice was his voice ringing? Simone said Lalo just signed up. Lalo's watching. Hola, Lalo. What's up, buddy?
Lalo
Hey. Time. We got to get Lalo on the show. Lalo's training to be a pilot of an airline. That would be pretty cool.
Time.
Hey, all of you fans and players, would you feel comfortable and excited to know Lalo was your pilot?
That would be so cool.
Come out,
getting on
Lalo.
a plane and hearing his voice, or seeing him when you get, when you board the plane, you get on, you look over to the left, because everybody, I do. I look over to the left. I like to look in the cockpit and see.
Yeah, I want to see what I want to see. I want a little gray hair. I want like you. Like if you were
Rob DeJesus action.
If you were sitting in the pilot seat, I'd be happy. I'd be like, that guy's got some experience. We're good.
Rob DeJesus.
Rob DeJesus, great racquetball player, Air Force, now a captain in for American Airlines.
He flies like all the biggest and newest planes in American.
Yeah, Rob, you can fly me anywhere, man. I'll fly into a hurricane with you, and that's probably because of your racquetball skills. But yeah, I see a lot of comments now about the junior stuff, Leo, and again, that would be my direction. I would go there. We see Joanne, they're commenting about kids not being allowed in. Here's the thing, because there's not enough demand. Veronica and I, we were at an LA Fitness this morning. We were playing with Joey Ireland. I call him Joe Ireland because he's from Ireland. He comes in for a couple of days. We do some work with him, and then he flies back. It's pretty cool. Guess what, guys? LA Fitness, Lifetime Fitness, they would let them in. If the parents, the 20-year-olds you see doing the CrossFit or the Alpha or whatever it's called, the ones that are there thinking they're actually at a model show, were saying, I want to bring my kid in. They need to create the demand. So my question to all of you, how do we get them in? I have my ideas. Amir, you say some parents want kids to play football, major league sports with money. Right, because they think every single one of their kids is going to be a pro athlete. They're going to dominate. We're going to watch them on TV. They're the next Derek Jeter, Aaron Judge, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods. Guess what? I'm here to tell you, they're not. They could be. They have a chance. But we need to create the demand. And if the parents of all those kids were screaming at these clubs that we keep bitching at, and oh, by the way, Leo, whose job is it to work with these clubs to explain the benefits of why they should open it up or figure out with their insurance why it's okay to have juniors playing racquetball? Is that our job? Is that the Pro Tours? The governing bodies? What do you fans think? What do you players think? Whose responsibility is that?
Everybody's going to say it's USA Racquetball's. Well, most
Jesse,
people are going to say it's USA Racquetball's responsibility.
Jesse, I see what you're saying. Jesse says right away. Jesse's he's a Treasure Coast baller. You know, he says LA Fitness says no because of insurance.
Mhm.
Bullshit. Did Simone bleep me there? Jesse, you're not wrong. LA Fitness is
It's
wrong.
happening. It's
Because
happening.
if you look at other clubs, look at the club you play Treasure Coast events at, they let them in.
Yeah.
So it's creating that demand. It's creating that excitement.
It's
And
happening.
Steve Mejia, you're absolutely right. It's all of our jobs.
There you go, Steve.
But we're doing that, right? Like we're collectively in groups, in these sects almost, so to speak, doing that. We're doing it right now. Leo and I are telling you what to do and how to do it. You know, Chad Bailey, you said it's maybe Chad, can we please do Busch Gardens on Monday? Mateo really wants to see the animals. So please make that happen. You know, Leo, you and I, decades and decades. Am I talking out of school here?
No, it just needs to be a different approach. I think, you know, everybody always says you can't get kids into LA Fitness on the courts. They have to stay in the nursery. It's a club policy. Number one, it's happening. Okay. I know it. There's some of you out there that know it. There's kids that are violating the policy. I'm not trying to blow the whistle on any clubs, any LA Fitness clubs that are allowing it to happen, but it's happening. So what needs to happen now is either thinking out of the box or a different approach to contact who is in charge of this policy. If it's an insurance thing, that's fixable. Maybe you go as far as finding out what does it cost, and then that gets subsidized through a nonprofit like USA Racquetball. But there are issues that can be solved. I think that the juniors is part of it, but I think the biggest thing that we need to really focus on is getting players back on the court, the adults. And I hope that Mike Grisz understands that. I know everybody talks about US team and, you know, all those things are important, but there needs to be an hierarchy, a level of importance. And the most important thing right now is to get people back on the courts and then getting down into the weeds of things that they talked about. Join the leagues, reserve a court, show up at the club.
Create demand.
Create demand. Like you go, when you walk into the club, you see the front desk person. Hey, what's up? Hey, don't forget, if you have any questions about racquetball, I'm your guy. I got rackets to loan. I got a half-hour lessons for free to give away.
Whatever you want.
I'll
Whatever
show you how
want.
to keep score. So I know there's people across the country doing that, but
yeah, I
it
mean,
needs to be an epidemic.
So I'll throw this name out there because it's no secret. And all of you, if you want to do something cool, open up a new window and look up the name Bill Miller, philanthropist. Worked for Legg Mason. He's a investor. He's a money guy. Bill Miller, and he's a good friend of he's a friend of mine. You know, he's in my contacts. He's a dear friend of a mutual friend, and you know he's a billionaire with a B. The guy's an incredible human. He gave $125 million to Johns Hopkins University.
Wow.
And he looked at our sport. He was our title sponsor for the first LPRT event we did. He said, he goes, if you guys want to succeed, you need to get colleges to play. You need people in college to play racquetball. And he said, he knows nothing. He doesn't know anything about the sport. He said, he only knows Veronica and I. And actually, it was pretty cool, Leo. I think I told you, Bill Miller was sitting at the LPRT event watching professional women's racquetball. So again, go Google him, Bill Miller. You'll see who I'm talking about. He said, we need college. You guys need colleges to play and participate. And how do you tell a guy like that no, or you're wrong?
It's one of the lowest hanging piece of fruits on the tree, the colleges. You know, they're coming out, they're going to get a job, they're going to have their own money, you're going to be able to join a club. I mean, just think about it. When you were 20 something, you were out, you know, you had a car, you had a place to live, you had your gym membership, you know, for some kids out of college, you know, you got to start working. So I do think that the colleges is also right up there with one of the areas. You know, I almost envision like a piece of pie, and you dissect that pie into the percentages or the pieces of the pie that you need to go and focus on. You know, it could be 40% adults, you know, 20% college kids, you know, 10% juniors, you know, whatever it is, but there has to be a balance. It can't just be running national tournaments and US team. And that's
Correct.
what I keep kind of hearing from USA Racquetball. And that's what I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear any more about the US team, and I don't want to hear any more about national events, because the national team costs money and your national events have cost you money. So we need to be hearing about what are you doing to reach out to clubs, to make sure that we're putting people on course, to make sure that, you know, that you're reaching out and getting people to help out with this vision.
Leo, that's well said. You know, it's hard to hear that, but right. I guess that's kind of part of the direction and the plan. JT Arball, could you do us? I mean, JT, how about Leo? How about JT, man? What a blessing he is to have in racquetball. JT, can you throw out there for everybody, as far as colleges, how many courts there are in colleges in the United States? And I think what we're missing is it's not just about the colleges. It's actually what driving the interest and demand from the college age or demographic is to as they progress in life. All of us watching this show, all of us listening, we love and have a passion for racquetball. It's not easy. It's not hard to share that passion with somebody, because trust me, give that person to us for a few minutes, they'll have that same passion and drive and love for racquetball. But we have to introduce them to it. And I think that early 20s, mid 20s, Leo, when the families are coming and they're thinking about it, you know, that's what's going to change the future of the sport. Now they're going to go grow their family. They're going to have kids. They're going to be into racquetball. Then they're going to introduce their kids to racquetball. I think we're a little bit misdirected, so to speak. You know, I think we're misdirected when it comes to, hey, juniors, 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 juniors. And I'll say it again to nauseum. And for any of you that have been, and many of you I see in the chat room, to our events here, Veronica and I, for a full summer, we had 100 kids come through a racquetball court twice a week, 30 minutes a day, twice a week. They never played racquetball. They love it. They love to watch it. When they see Veronica and I to this day, they hey, what's up, everyone? Veronica, when's your tournament? Sudsy, what are you doing? Oh, I saw you on YouTube, blah, 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 blah. But none of them are at the club playing. And guess what? They can. The club will let them. And it's because the parents aren't into it.
Yeah.
But to be fair to Veronica and I, we haven't been face-to-face with the parents. We've been face-to-face with the kids. But when the kids go home and they say, Mommy, Daddy, I met Veronica, I met Sudsy, I love racquetball, it's great, blah, blah, blah. The parents are like, yeah, whatever. I got nowhere to send you, or to your point, you know, there's no high school team, and you're going to be the next greatest baseball player in the world, or best basketball player, or you're going to be a pro golfer. You know, it's where does that responsibility and accountability lie? Where is it?
Don't get me wrong. I totally support juniors.
Of course.
I love the kids. I've hosted kids summer camps. I've taught kids. I've given lessons. I've give to the kids without a doubt, just like everyone else here. We all have a soft heart for the kids. But I agree, comes from the parents into the kids, because ultimately you got to ask the parents, you know, can they go to a tournament? Can they come to the camp? Can you bring them in for an extra lesson? So I totally support juniors. It's super important, because we all got older. And so we need to have somebody coming in behind us.
We're aging out, Leo.
I don't like that word age.
We're aging.
We're getting older.
No.
Wiser.
But the players that are keeping us going, we got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And we got to figure it out quick. And when we talk to Mike Grisz, and there's no doubt that Mike Grisz is passion and love for the sport, is there, equal to all of ours. What's the direction we want to go to grow, to continue the sport, right? To make sure that we have players when we're not doing it.
Yeah.
We talked about it earlier. Kane, Rocky, Paola, Rhonda. We're going to move on. So what's that plan? And we love hearing from everybody. Please continue. Keep it
what
up.
do you guys think? Are we thinking the right track? Because that's what I had mentioned earlier, was the juniors was my favorite tournament, my second favorite tournament. Because it's different energy. And watching the junior worlds, I had so much fun watching all our US kids compete. And I hope you guys go home and you train just as hard and you come back and you have an even stronger performance. But I think for me, moving forward in 2023, I hope to see more adults on the courts. I hope to see more leagues, more tournaments. But if we're talking about the national organization, we can finish up. I want to see more energy. I want to see some excitement. I want to see more promotion. I'd like to share some breaking news that we have at Team Dovetail. We're going to be the presenting sponsor for Junior Nationals. Mike Kinkin has been negotiating with Mike Grisz, and we want to be part of the junior movement. And we're going to be doing some junior clinics with Rocky Carson, Holly Scott. So we're going to take action on the juniors. We promote the kids. I love working with the kids. When we do all this stuff that you see with our Team Dovetail, the kids are constantly replying, I like that. That looks cool. Make this. Can I have that shirt? Thank you. The energy is different with the kids. And their passion is just as strong, even at such a young age. So I'm super excited to see what 2023 holds, not only for racquetball, but for the development. I mean, some of these kids.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we know a lot of
Look
them.
at Monty Cruz. You're working with Monty Cruz. I mean, she wants to be a champion. That's what we need. We need more Monty Cruzes.
We do. We need many, but again, I think we need the parents of the Monty Cruzes to want the Monty Cruzes, if that makes sense. Was that a little too much right there?
No.
Does it? I know our listeners and our fans understand that. Jim Heiser just texted. He said, when the year that I won the 16 and under, there was over 440 players in the event. It was cool. It was different, and we get it. We understand it's different times. We don't cry over spilt milk, blah blah blah. But also take some stuff head on, and say let's figure it out. Because John Casey, you mentioned Naomi Ross, junior world champion from the U.S., but it's up to us then to make sure that the sport is still here for her. She's a junior world champion. Imagine a 16-year-old junior world champion in tennis. She's not worried about her future or what she's going to do. And, the constant online promotions, the Facebook, the YouTube, the Instagram, the Twitter, Leo, we say it all the time. Just push racquetball out as much as possible. Share this feed, talk about it, get it out there. Like videos, do it. Everyone and anyone. Leo, we don't see eye to eye with everybody in our sport, but guess what? We try to do what we can to help promote. You and I have offline conversations of people we may not even agree with, but guess what? They're pushing racquetball. Whether it's whatever it is, it's for racquetball.
I got an idea.
Go for it. What do you got?
You sure? You ready?
I'm ready. Are the fans ready?
This is who I want to hear from. So what do you guys think about this? Let's do a Beyond the Court or We Are Racquetball Summit. Let's get together in person. Let's pick a date. Let's pick a Frank Hotels location.
He'll do it. Say, hey, I don't even have to ask. He'll sponsor it.
Let's pick a date in 2023. You guys on the show, we want you to come.
Wow.
We'll pick a date. We'll work with Frank Hotels. We'll find us a place. We'll find us a city. We'll work on the logistics. and let's have our own summit. Let's get together. Let's do it.
Wow.
And let's meet. Let's find a meeting room. Let's have some fun, like USA Racquetball used to do it. We used to go down to Colorado Springs, and we used to do summits down there, and we used to sit down and we used to share ideas. And it's just so much different in person when we're all together, and you can feel and you can hear passion, and we can have people speak, and we can have these successful people come at some of these clubs like the Dan Whitleys, the colleges, the Darren Shanks, all the people that are doing stuff around the country. We can make sure that they either come or we Zoom them in.
Love it.
But I think that would be fun. I think it would be a chance for us to get together. We could do it. Like I said, USA Racquetball used to do it, but funds are tight. So we could figure out the logistics. What do you guys think? We do a We Are Racquetball Summit.
You know what, Leo? We could head that up. And I don't even have to ask Mark Frank of Frank Hotels. He will support that in any way, shape, or form he can. There's no doubt.
Carmine says yes. John Casey says yes.
I love it. And Lance, of course, we'll play some racquetball. I'll get on the court with every single one of you for a few points. We can set that up. There's a couple of places we can do it. Just thinking of some of his properties.
Jeff Stark says yes.
We get Jeff Stark there. Jeff. We're gonna have to talk about this. This is interesting. We're Mark, if you're out there, text me. Can we take the hotel for how many days do we need?
Mark, we need to book your entire hotel.
Well, he has one on the Treasure. It's called not the Treasure Coast. Oh man, go to frankhotels.com. It's the property in Florida.
I see enough yeses. I say we do it. We'll get the information together. I'll talk to Mr. Frank. We'll find a property. We'll put some dates together. We'll do another show and make sure that we're all in.
We'll do a live show with everybody. How about everybody? That'd be awesome, right?
Yeah.
You're on to something. Something.
I think so. I think it's much needed. We can do it outside. We want blessings from organizations, IRT, LPRT, USA.
Why?
Racquetball,
Why do we need blessings from them? What do you mean?
We just want them to know what we're doing is for the good of racquetball, but we're going to do it our way.
Everything we do is for the good of racquetball. I mean,
we're going to do it our way. We're going to meet our way. We're going to implement ideas our way. We're going to, I'd love to have JT there, JT Arball. He can talk to everybody about the live streaming. Brendan Anthony is also good. Down in Florida.
That's a good point. I think a panel of people, like Jeff Starks. Jeff, I love you, brother. Jeff goes, I'll bring Minor. Well, this is where Minor comes in. We're going to need some people to be brought in. So maybe some of our main sponsors will assist in making this happen. And then the support will come from you, the players, but we'll invite you in to be part of this. And Leo, we can kind of sit on the stage. Can we look cool and have those microphones that, Apple wears when you see those conferences? Like Jeff Stark. Jeff Stark has an amazing amount of knowledge and info. I mean, he's got more national championships than Rocky and I combined. And that's probably not a joke. So, this guy, he's seen it all. And I love it. I think Leo, that's a great idea. We definitely need to talk about that.
That would be great, to have somebody like Keith up there as a donor, so people can ask
he
a donor a question, not to ask him for money.
No, actually, we tell him you're not allowed to give money.
That's right. You're not allowed to give money, Keith, but you're allowed to come and share your thoughts and feelings to other people that are out there trying to talk to donors. What's important? What do you want to hear from someone? We already know you love racquetball, but what else? Is there anything else that you want to hear? So I think that would be awesome to have, some donors there. Man,
we have a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work, and we're just in 2022. Leo, let's take a quick break.
Look what Chad said. Chad wants us to bring the portable court to a Frank Hotels.
That can be done, but I do know where the portable court is.
We're going nuts tonight.
Let's take a quick break, Leo. Let's come back. Let's close out the show. Wish everybody a happy and healthy new year. Let's hear from Jules. It's always good to hear from Jules. Everybody pay attention to this commercial. Listen up. So we exist. Racquetball is an amazing sport. It helps you obviously physically and mentally, but it helps you in life in general. And definitely say that you should all go play. I mean, like Jules said, Leo, just go play racquetball. And that's what we need to do. You know, Leo, we do have to close this show. I know we can go on and on, man, because racquetball is in our blood. It's everything. It's what we do. And we love to be able to communicate to everybody. And it's just constant, the messages and text. So I think a cool way to run through as we finish off, you know, the 2022 Beyond the Court series and season. I know Simone has some questions keyed up. Do you think we can run through some of those?
Yeah, let's just run through them real quick. I appreciate you guys sticking with us tonight. These were some comments that we had pulled from the internet really quick. Brian asked, apparently the United States Racquetball Association has a program where they will work with your club to get a high school age program going at your club. We need to work with schools and have them come to clubs as part of gym class and play racquetball. What's your response to that?
No shit. Yeah, we need to do that. So when we find out who does that, who's going to help us do that, who's going to build those programs, who's going to lead it, who's going to have the energy and the vision and actually have an actionable item and make them do it, go get it done. Go do it. If you want to be that guy, go do it. What I would do, my plan would be very simple, Leo. I would go to the 2 or 3 most successful programs in the country. I would ask them on bended knee, I need you. We need you as a sport. We need you to mimic and help us show everybody around the country how to do or replicate your program. And guess what? You know what we're paying you? We're paying you with blood, sweat, and tears, and we're going to pay you with the survival of our sport. And then I would go to every single state and say, just try to replicate program X, Y, and Z. And guess who just signed on, according to Simone in the back room? Keith Miner, KWM Garderman. Keith, we love you. We're not gonna keep going. You know, Keith. Many people don't know this, but you're single-handedly, quite frankly, potentially saving and keeping our sport going. And for any of you that out there that don't believe that or realize that, you just have no idea. You're just misinformed and uninformed. So it's up to us, Leo, to say that. But apparently, according to Simone Keith Miner, who Simone informs us when any people like Keith sign on. Keith is on. So Keith, thank you.
Somebody must have told him what we said. And Keith, if you weren't here, what you missed was we're going to organize a We Are Racquetball Summit. You're invited to come, but you can't donate any money.
Yeah, you're not allowed to.
Not allowed
so this
to give
is
any
tough
money.
because you're not, but usually when I say that to him, all of a sudden, boom, there's a Venmo that pops up. And you know, I tell him, I'm like, why'd you do that? And in the comment of the Venmo, it's like, I don't know, you said Simone throws. Yeah, no, that was not for you, Keith. Don't
just since Keith just jumped on, just to call people out, Chad Bailey said that we should bring the portable court to the summit. So
that's different. So yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll be in touch. But yeah, Keith, we love you, man. Racquetball loves you. There's no way we could ever pay you back, whether it's monetarily, emotionally, physically. We could never. You know, thank you, Keith, because truly without you, there's so many things that continue to go on that would not go on. And it's quite amazing. So, all right, Leo, go ahead. What do you got? Simone, what do you got?
Brian Vargas says, how can we get more of the youth involved? Most clubs only allow kids 13 and older to play unless we get leagues and camps going for the youth. Racquetball will slowly die out. We kind of addressed that earlier, but
we touched
final thoughts on that.
We touched on it. Again, Brian, you're part of the Treasure Coast team, not only as a player, but staff. And we need to create the demand. We need to constantly create demand. We need people, parents, potential parents to be interested. The reason you and I play, Leo plays, is because whether it was an uncle, a brother, an aunt, a cousin, a mom, a father, they played racquetball. We need to keep that energy going. The reason my kids will play is because of that. And we need to create the demand. If we create the demand, the courts and the clubs that we are continuously pointing fingers at saying they won't let us in, they will have no choice but to let you in. And they will want you to bring the kids in to play, because if you're spending money, whether it's clinics or tournaments or lessons, they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out.
All right. Next one here from Carmine. I think it's a good topic for the show be to discuss what are realistic goals for racquetball. We did kind of touch on those.
Carmine Cacavalli, old school New Yorker. He grew up in the best of times of racquetball in the 80s and 90s. Amazing left-handed doubles player, competitor. He was awesome. So he's seen it. He shares the passion that we do. He's obviously doing some bigger and different things in life. He's not as involved, but a hell of a player. Carmine, you're absolutely right. I think that these shows and these discussions are exactly what we need. We need the input from everybody. We need to keep it up. We need energy, vision, passion, accountability, responsibility, and just keep moving forward. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing all we can.
All right, let's go on to the next comment from Richard. It says, what are some things that we can do as avid racquetball players to grow the sport in our local areas? Talked about that. Leagues, playing tournaments, getting somebody back on the court, inviting somebody out to play with you. Just play, like Jules said, right?
Yeah, just play. Get them out there. Get them involved. Introduce them to the sport. Social media is everything. Obviously, you're on social media right now. Share this. You never know the friends that may be in your list, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It's a necessary evil. You have to do it. It's part of life. It's part of society. Show them the things you like and the benefits it is to you, physically, mentally, emotionally, relationships. You know, the best things, I say it all the time, Leo, the best things that racquetball's ever given me, it's not titles, it's not money, certainly not money, it's not fame, it's not fortune, it's the relationships, you know, and what it's done for me. And then, you know, from an athletic standpoint, the benefits of racquetball to all other sports, it's like no other. You know, you take any of the racquetball players in the world and say, hey, what were you good at in sports? It's kind of like we were pretty good at everything, humbly speaking. So it was because of racquetball. It wasn't the other way around.
Yeah. All right. Next question from Rick Ricchetti. Leagues are the key. Develop one or two simple and basic league formers and push for them, especially with the youth. Too many leagues are all tweaked out with sometimes complex and overly accommodating process. Keep it simple. What do you think about leagues?
Keep it simple. You can't argue with that. You know, you want to keep it simple, Leo. But again, we're not going to have leagues if we don't have players. So we have to create the demand and to have the players. And then we need people out there working tirelessly to get more people in the courts. You know, we just announced Treasure Coast Series, junior 16 and under, free. Just come play. Just come compete. Veronica's working. We're like, we just want women playing, right? Like, just get out there and play. And guess what? I don't care if it's indoor or outdoor. You know, leagues are key to people that already play. We have to get people introduced to playing, right? It's kind of like having national events, having US Opens. We'll take care of that because we already play. We need new players. We need new energy, new vision, you know, new excitement.
All right. Angel has a comment here. With the limitations and constraints the pandemic has caused for the pro tours, why haven't the IRT and the LPRT incorporated outdoor tournaments into their tournament schedule? Beach Bash, Huntington Beach, and Vegas are just some of the outdoor tournaments available. And as the pros have started coming to these, it's time to create a tour that encompasses all aspects of racquetball and not just the indoor ones. Thoughts?
Pandemic's over. Don't want to hear about it anymore. Shit or get off the pot. Let's figure it out. We got to move forward. Outdoor racquetball is a huge part of it. I'll say it, indoor. And, you know, Leo, we see it. I post it all the time. I know you do too. We are racquetball, indoor and outdoor. Give me a racket. Give me a ball. I don't care where we're playing. Let's go play racquetball. Okay. You know, no more excuses. It is what it is, right? Like, let's go. Let's play ball. And I think we can all play a role in that. Leo, I love the summit idea. We're going to get to that for sure. So Simone, I love that. I love when Simone throws the Venmo for the show. Keith is not allowed. Keith does enough Venmoing to everybody. So don't do it.
On the panel.
Don't do it.
Donor panel.
Hopefully he signed off already. The guy's so busy, you know. Yeah, and that's it. You know, let's keep it going. What else? What do you got, Leo? Keep it coming, Simone.
Last.
I hear Chewy. Chewy's got to go out, doesn't he? Chewy's got to go to the bathroom.
All right, one from Tom McCloskey.
Okay.
He'd like to hear the feedback from the interview with Mike Grisz. Do people believe him, or is it the same old song and dance? I'd also like to talk about USAR previous leadership and how they have put racquetball in the position it's currently in, yet they still seem to be an influence. Seems like no accountability.
Leave that up, Simone. Can you put that back up? That's pretty deep. Mike Grisz, he's stepping up. He's trying to discuss it. I know personally we've mentioned somebody's name tonight that has donated to USA Racquetball, and it was not for USA Racquetball. It was for Mike Grisz. I think until we see something different, it is the same old song and dance. You could take it down, Simone. Thank you. I think that there's no doubt previous leadership plays a major role in where we are today, but that's it. We got to try to move forward. And I agree. We all agree. We see that word thrown around a lot: accountability, responsibility, right? There's no doubt. But again, where are we going to go with that? Mike is coming on. Mike Grisz, as the executive director, he's coming on trying to be as transparent as he can. Leo, we spoke today offline, and he asked me to sanction events. I said, I'm just not ready. I said, I just don't have any trust, faith, or confidence. I said, it's not you, Mike. If it was for you personally, I would do anything I could. And again, I know he received a donation from a dear friend of ours today or the day before who said the same thing. He wrote a check and said, it's not for the ideology or the structure or the way we are or where we might go. It's for the faith and confidence and trust in you, Mike. So, I think Mike, he deserves a ton of credit, and it's just not easy. Leo, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. You were on the board. You were an officer. Where are we? Where is USA Racquetball a year from now? And what's it going to take for the players and fans that watch our show or listen to our podcast to go, okay, I see differences being made or attempted to being made?
I think you're either in or you're out. If you're out, then you have to be influenced to be in. You have to buy in, more or less. You have to believe, and you have to buy in. And that means not just buying a membership or buying into a tournament. You have to believe into the sport. And just like the rest of you watching tonight, a lot of you, all of you probably, including yourself, Suds, racquetball is a big part of our lives. Some of us do it on different levels. Some have played pro, some have been amateurs, some are tournament directors. Some people don't even play. Some people just officiate, or they bring their kids, or everybody has a connection into racquetball, and that's where we're all connected. So I think that, for myself, I've bought in. Now, have I bought into the USA Racquetball plan for 2023? No. Does it mean that I won't? No. Does it mean that I will? Maybe. I've bought into doing what I think I need to do to help promote racquetball. And as you guys, some of you know, I do work for Team Dovetail, and we promote racquetball. We promote our juniors. We promote our pros. We hosted a pro tournament. We're hosting junior clinics. We signed on to be the junior presenting sponsor at Junior Nationals. We've got some other things that we're doing. Sudsy, you do your thing. You host tournaments. You coach. You play national qualifier. We all have our connection into the game. So I think it's going to be important for all of us to continue to do what we're doing and keep going forward. And that's why I keep asking. I wanted to ask Grisz again, at what point do we stop, hammering Grisz on this and just move forward? Get it done. Do it. Make it happen. Join the league. Buy the membership. Play the tournament. Play the Treasure Coast. Play the national doubles. Go to World Singles and Doubles. Go to 3-wall ball. Share this feed. And stay engaged. That's the big thing. Somebody had the comment about using, more social media. You know what what frustrates me is, and I see somebody like JTR Ball that goes to a bunch of trouble and then writes a post and gets like 2 likes and 1 comment. But I know there's way more people that went and looked at the post and read it. So stay engaged. Let's start out 2023 with a bang. We're going to do it right here in Austin, Texas at the Longhorn Open. I can't wait. And then we're going to flow into hopefully, some other good events for 2023. But all I can tell you is I'm in. I'm all in. I appreciate the support. It's the little things with the Venmo. It's my team Dovetail, Sudsy. It's you and Vero. It's Keith Miner. It's Randy Root. It's Jim Heiser. It's Fran Davis. All the people that help me continue to do what I love to do in the sport. So that's what I'm doing, and that's what I believe in. I do believe in Mike Grisz. I do believe that, you know, he's on a mission to make it happen. But, you know, he's got his work cut out for him.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I think we all do. I think we as a sport do, and that's okay because we're not afraid to, you know, take on challenges, whether it's you know, a player that's better than us, whether it's, you know, 10-10 in the breaker, or whatever it might be. I think we as racquetball players, we really embrace competition, and I think that that's what we're in. You know, we're in a big competition to continue the survival and thriving of our sport. And I think we all play a role in it. And, you know, 2022 for me, Leo, it's been pretty amazing. Again, you know, even just doing this, it really means so much to me. And it goes back to Scotty Mack and Ellie when we started. And I can't thank you guys enough for doing this. You know, I didn't realize how important it was going to be. It was during COVID of 2020. And, you know, we're sitting in Ecuador, Veronica and I said, we really need to continue the energy and keep the life of racquetball going. Cause, you know, Leo, we could feel it. We could feel the pulse was just fading. It was fading. And that was a COVID thing when we started this show. So, you know, Scotty Mack and Ellie, thank you. And of course now Leo, you know, and, you know, your involvement in being part of this, it's a huge thing. It's a huge thing for racquetball. And I think we have a responsibility now. You know, we now have a responsibility for the fans and the players, something kind of that I feel we've developed here with the Treasure Coast Racquetball series, some of the stories, and you'll hear more about that when we do the award show. But again, none of this happens, you know, my heavy involvement and Veronica's heavy involvement doesn't happen without people like Keith Miner, Performance Chemicals, Mark Frank and Frank Hotels, you know, Sal and Dee Perconti, and there's many others that I can name and continue to name, but it just doesn't happen without that. You know, like Leo, like you touched on the small Venmos, they all matter. It keeps us going. It keeps us enabled to stay here, to bring this energy, to bring this passion, to hopefully bring you something that makes an impact and matters to you and your everyday life. We share the same passion. We share racquetball, and we will forever. Whether we are a dysfunctional family or not, we are family. We are racquetball. We are indoor and outdoor. You know, and we will be forever, and we will continue to be in 2023. And for me, thank you. Thank you to all you players, you fans, all of you sponsors. Of course, it just doesn't happen. Leo, I can't thank you enough. You've stepped up so much over the past year. Many people don't know you help us with so many things. Thank you. You know, Veronica and I, we do everything we can to show our gratitude, but it doesn't happen without, you know, some of those sponsors and names that I said. And we'll keep working our asses off, even though obviously I have a new responsibility. It's, you know, with this position as director of business development for a racquetball company in Performance Chemicals. His deal was to show you that racquetball passion, Leo. I'm not allowed to leave racquetball. That's part of my contract and agreement. So I'm not going anywhere. You got me for as long as you guys want me. So thank you. My wife, Veronica. I say it all the time, and Leo, you know, I'm not here without her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not here. I'm probably not doing this. It's I love you to death, and without you, it's just not happening. Thank you, and your amazing abilities on and off the court, and as a mother. You know, you prioritize yourself as a mom and a wife before being a player. But Leo, what a badass player. And, you know, we can't end the show because we never see this. And I don't know if anybody knows how powerful that is. Keith Miner just commented. That's big. You know, for Keith to say that, Keith doesn't say much. We try all the time to get him on the air, and we will. Keith, you know we will. I'm going to get you on, whether it's recorded or not. You're coming on. And, you know, that means a lot. And that's a big shout out to Mike Grisz and USAR right there. So thank you, Keith. And Leo, with that, I think it's time. I think it's time we call an end to 2022. Final thoughts, my friend.
Wow. I was hoping you wouldn't say that yet.
Sorry, buddy.
I'll keep mine really short because, you know, 2022 kind of spoke for itself. We had a great year, despite, you know, some of the things that had happened. You know, don't forget, Sudsy and I go back and look at all the comments. So please comment and leave us a comment in the chat on what you thought about 2022 was for racquetball for you. For me, it was good. It was really good. Like I said, despite all the speed bumps along the way, but I had a great 2022. I you know, I'll say it once, I'll say it again. My first outdoor tournament going to Vegas, 3-wall ball. I mean, I'll never get tired of that, and I look forward to the next year. But overall, it was great. I'm looking forward to 2023. I appreciate you guys tuning in, watching us. I appreciate the feedback. I love the comments. Thank you guys. I appreciate every little thing that you guys do for me. It doesn't go unnoticed. All the shares, the likes, the love. My family, my friends. I can't wait to see everybody in a week and a half at the Longhorn Open. And 2023 is going to be big. It's going to be better for racquetball. I truly believe that. And then just reading the comment, it's a little over to hear it from Keith Miner, you know, who is he's about action, and to hear Keith Miner say that you know, 2023 is going to be good with Grisz helping us steer the ship in the right direction. I'm in. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Let's do some big things. Let's do some new things. I'm excited to be part of Team Dovetail. And thank you. Thank you, Suds. Thank you to the fans. And I can't wait for the first show of 2023.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we don't know when that show will be yet, but it will come. There's a chance, you know, we might do a special edition for the Treasure Coast Awards, and we would love you to all be part of it so that, you know, we can honor the players that committed to these events. And again, we're gonna close out. And, you know, Keith, again, obviously, we see you're online. We appreciate that. Thank you. And any other sponsors, supporters. We received a few Venmos. I know Simone said it. Thank you so much. We'll be sharing it. And this is 2022. And you know, here we are. I'm 5 decades in, still part of this sport. I think I'll be part of this until you put me 6 feet under or wherever I may go. But I love all of you, players, fans, sponsors, supporters. Thank you. There's Chewy. He's going to come into a new 2023. I wish you all nothing but an amazing, healthy, safe 2023. 2022 is not over yet. You know, tomorrow isn't promised to anybody, but we're all going to see it. And let's just keep continuing to promote, support, love, and do everything we can to make sure racquetball stays relevant and that racquetball is part of our lives. And then we'll all be part of each other's lives. All right. Don't forget it. We are racquetball, indoor and outdoor. We love you all. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the support. We'll see you in 2023, if not sooner. But please keep up the energy. Keep it up. And Chewy, Happy New Year. Have an amazing New Year, everyone. We'll see you all soon.
Happy New Year, everybody. See you in 2023.
We exist. You know, racquetball is an amazing sport. It helps you obviously physically and mentally, but it helps you in life in general. And definitely say that you should all go play.